Hello, how are you doing guys? Hope you guys are doing fine. This patch, we have a new Hydro character, the Water Sommelier Monsieur Neuvillette. And I will be going through his kit, build and team in under 10 minutes in this simply zero guide. First thing first, Neuvillette's damage scale of his HP, and most of his damage came from his Kamehameha charge attack. Neuvillette's charge attack releases a surging torrent after fully storing energy, dealing continuous AoE hydro damage to all enemies in direct line in front of him. He can move freely and adjusting his direction during the charge attack. His elemental skill and burst creates source water droplets. He can absorb the droplets within a certain distance to restore his HP and to quickly doing his charge attack without waiting the energy to restore. His charge attack will consume his HP, lasts until his HP hits less than 50%, doesn't consume stamina, and has a long waiting time if we don't use his skill first. His skill does AoE hydro damage, and when it hits the enemy, 3 hydro droplets, orbs or balls will spawn. When there are 3 balls on the field, they can be absorbed by pressing the left click or doing his charge attack. By absorbing the balls, he can instantly release his charge attack, and the balls will recover his HP first before finally depleting again during the charge attack. Balls from the Hydro Traveler can also be absorbed by Neuvillette, and he requires 3 balls. Neuvillette's ultimate will unleashes wave that deals AoE hydro damage, and 2 waterfalls will descend after a short interval and spawns 6 balls on the field. After using his ultimate, he can release his strong charge attack twice. The best rotation to play with him is use his skill, rotate to party member, charge attack, ult, charge attack twice, then return back to his skill again to repeat the cycle. Passive talent increases his damage further when party members trigger a hydro reaction to enemy, including Crystallize. Neuvillette will get a past draconic glories that further raise his charge attack damage for 30 seconds. Each unique reaction counts as 1 stack, and this can be maxed up to 3 stack. And the multiplier for this bonus damage exists independently, just like Euimia's elemental skill. Lastly, his A4 passive gives 0.6% hydro damage bonus for every 1% of Neuvillette current HP above 30%. This is what makes his Kamehameha's damage decreases over time because he is losing HP when doing his charge attack. He can constantly release a strong and long-lasting Kamehameha if there is a party member who can heal fast to keep his HP high during his charge attack. Neuvillette build. His best lane slot is currently 4 pieces of Marichuse Hunter that will help to balance his crit ratio. But temporarily, if still farming for Hunter set, 4 pieces of Heart of Death is also viable. He could stick with it if the Heart of Death has better overall stat and or crit ratio. Some alternatives while still farming for Marichuse Hunter set would be the Wanderer set, Retracing Bullet set, and Nymph Dream set. Put HP main stat on his Sand, Hydro damage bonus on Goblet, and crit main stat on his Circlet. Feel free to min-max if there is a HP Goblet with a good substat laying around the inventory, but Hydro damage bonus is more efficient if the HP Goblet doesn't have a better substat. Per substat, crit, HP, and ER is what he's looking for. But maybe an EM here and there is going to be a little helpful on a reaction team, so EM is optional on Neuvillette. And 140 to 160 ER is going to be comfortable enough for the rotation and a go-to Neuvillette. But in a double Hydro team, he will need way less ER. Neuvillette's weapon option. This video was meant for free-to-play players, so I would say his best 4-star weapon would be Prototype Amber or the new event Catalyst, Ballad of the Boundless. For the gacha 4-star, there are Favoni's Codex and the Witsit, but keep in mind that his best 4-star is the craftable Prototype Amber. Neuvillette's team. He pretty much can sustain himself, and a shield for no interruption while releasing his charge attack is preferable than having a healer. But of course, team building is only situational. His team can consist of 4 stars members, and build the team to utilize his A1 passive for more damage output. He can fit into pretty much any Hydro reaction team, and a 5-star party member is not a must-have on his team, which makes him free-to-play friendly. These are the animal units that could work well with Neuvillette. The most recommended is Kazuha, and then Fenty or Sucrose. Cryo units, Diana and Layla. Diana can provide shield, healing, and EM, while Layla can provide shield and a cryo application. Pyro units, Xiangling Bennett and Dia, and Bennett's attack buff would not be affecting Neuvillette's damage, but if the team needs a healer and skills of attack, Bennett would pretty much help. Geo units, Zhongli, Goro, Albedo, or Noelle. While Zhongli has the best shield, Goro can pull Elemental Shard on the field with Archaic Petra for 35% elemental damage bonus for 10 seconds, and Noelle can provide strong shield and an on-field healing, and Albedo can be off-field and provides EM. Electro units. There are plenty of options in this element: Visual Beidou, Raiden, Yaemiko, and Kukishinobu. Visual Raiden and Yaemiko can help utilize Bloom reaction from a safe distance if there is a Dendro unit in the team, while Beidou can provide interruption resistance aside of applying Electro to the enemies. But keep in mind, if using Kuki for Bloom with Neuvillette, you have to keep your distance near the Dendro seeds. Dendro units. Dendro elemental reaction are currently sat on the top of the meta, along with Mel and Fate. Nahida, Dendro Traveler, Yao Yao, and Collei can fit into his team. From mostly recommended is Nahida, Dendro Traveler, and Collei. They can apply Dendro off-field, and Yao Yao can be a healer, but she will need to be on the field to utilize her ultimate, and Kirara can provide shield. Hydro probably going to make his passive only stack twice, but the Resonance can add more HP to the party and will generate more Hydro particles. But if you want to slot a Hydro units in the team, then Mona can be viable for her damage boost. Neuvillette can be paired with Yelan or Xingqiu for the Resonance, but keep in mind that Neuvillette's charge attack will not activate Yelan or Xingqiu's burst. As for Nilou, he could work with her for a Bloom or Hyper Bloom, but her Hydro Aura only covers a small distance, while Neuvillette can cover a large distance to avoid getting hit. And to hit the enemies with Nilou's Hydro Aura, Neuvillette will need a Shielder to not get interrupted and protect him from the self-damaging Bloom reaction. If you like Neuvillette as a character and your account needs DPS, then to have him in your account is certainly not disappointing at all, since his performance is great and his best in slot free-to-play weapon can be crafted and completely free. Not to mention that we still have many new characters coming in the game that will probably elevate his performance in the future. He is so much fun to play, but I am currently saving for Furina and I already have a couple of DPS in my account. I feel like that is all for the quick guide. Thank you so much if you made it this far. I wish you luck for your pull. Let me know if you are skipping or pulling Neuvillette. If you have any thought, just leave it in the comment below. Stay hydrated, be kind, and have a good one.